out, you stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds, and when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
Welcome, everybody, into Sim Racing Media tonight. The drivers of the ECR NextGen League take on Sin City, and they are known for putting on a show here. Last 5 races have all been very, very competitive. Last week, though, we saw a race over in Japan at Motegi Oval where the driver that dominated didn't have the right pit strategy, wound up coming just a bit short. Dwayne Furtick dominated the race, led over half of the laps, but came up just a little short, elected to go for 4 tires instead of 2, And that left the door open for Tyler Burden to take 2 tires and go ahead and take that machine to victory lane. But that's in the rearview mirror. Tonight we're in Vegas. It is going to be a great show. Mike Damoni up in the booth. Joined with me is Shane. Shane, man, how is it going?
It's doing great. I'm really excited to see what these ECR drivers can do here in Sin City.
Yeah, they've raced here 5 times, and all of them have been a different winner. So we'll see if somebody else can figure out the track and put their name up there as well, or if we're finally going to have a repeat winner in several seasons here at Las Vegas. But right now, it is 66 degrees track temp, so it is it's going to change as we're going into 2:30 in the afternoon once we get to the race session, which will switch in about 15 seconds thereabout. But right now, Andrew Chapman is going to be on the pole for this race. All the drivers have elected to start. A driver who finally is able to qualify after not being able to qualify for the last 3 weeks is going to be Colin Bollinger. Bollinger served his 3-race penalty, started at the back of the pack each week, but each week he has been able to work his way through the pack. Right now, he currently sits, I'm going to say, 3rd in the points. Tristan Bailey up in 2nd, and John Osborne in 1st. But those 3 drivers are separated by just 5 points right now in the points race. Let these drivers get in their rides real quick, and we'll head off down to the grid.
Looks like the sun's out now, like you mentioned. Qualifying early in the morning. The race, 2:30 in the afternoon. Should be a hot, slick track out there.
Yeah, these guys definitely like to have that qualifying bright and early and warm it up once the race gets going. Andrew Chapman will lead the drivers to green. Last week, Tristan Bailey had a little rough go on pit road. We'll see if he can do better here at Las Vegas. Going to start in P2. Row 2 is Aaron Miller and John Osborne. We have Adam Boughton and Robert Roth going to make up row 3. Colin Bollinger, as I said, finally gets to qualify. Going to start inside the top 10, rolling off P7 right now with Ryan McCall just to his outside. Row number 5 is Dwayne Furtick and Michael York. Then we have Justin Hendry and Stan Carnathan going to roll off in row number 6. Row 7, Bradley Rivers and Gary Nash. I might have to be cheering for that Nash fellow there, as he's got Kubota on the hood. Work at a Kubota dealership up here in Wyoming, so kind of cheering for him a little bit now. Christopher Roth, Michael Carter going to be rolling off in row 8. Kent Mueller and Aaron Spear. Last week's winner going to start just inside the top 20. Tyler Burden rolling off P19 with Kane Lee just to his outside. Kane Lee did switch teams over the week. Anthony Ludi, Pete Walsh, row 11, Jonathan Cogswell, and Rob Mooney in row number 12. Row 13, Sam Batwell and Matthew Crago Jr. going to start shotgun on the field. Looks like everybody was able to get a qualifying lap except for Crago, so everybody had their chance to get around here. We'll see what they can do once they get rolling. And as you said, that track temperature is up now to a balmy 92 degrees.
Yeah, I think that's only going to make the racing more exciting. Having a hot, slick track. Vegas is just so much fun. You can get right up on a guy's bumper. There's a little bit of dirty air, but not as much at some of the other tracks. So we're going to see people leaning on each other to complete passes. A little difficult to get those passes done. So you're going to see slide jobs. You're going to see different lines. It's just going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a lot of fun, and it's going to be a little bit different. I believe we're going to see drivers try and stay mostly towards the bottom of the track. Last week it seemed like they kind of wanted to almost diamond the corner, as that was that egg-shaped oval. But we're back to the regular mile and a half here, so we'll see what they can do. Pace car's getting ready to make that left-hand turn. Chapman Bailey going to lead them down to green. Pace car is in, and we are Going to be green here in the Star Nursery 225 from Las Vegas.
Front row getting a pretty good jump here on the start. A little bit of space between them and the cars behind them. As Chapman dives to the bottom. And that bottom lane, like you said, I think when you're by yourself or in clean air, the bottom lane is where you want to be. And that high lane is going to be where you have to go to get clean air behind someone else to try and build some momentum to get a pass done on the straightaway.
Yeah, lap one in the books as they're coming start finish line. Chapman, Bailey able to get away just a little bit. Boughton back there in third. Aaron Miller trying to hang on in fourth. Colin Bollinger, a little bit different scenery today. Not quite the job he has to get done that he had last couple weeks, but doing well, already up a couple positions. Michael York just getting by Robert Roth there for sixth as well.
Yeah, I think this is the part of the race where the smart drivers are going to be taking care of their tires. Really easy to get up behind someone, lose the air on the front, and slide those front tires and kind of wear them out too fast, as we see Boughton going by Chapman for second. Using that high line. See if he's able to complete the pass out of the turn exit.
Well, got that. It's like right rear just a little bit loose there, but able to keep it going and is clear for second. Michael York is on fire right now. 29.82, fastest lap of the race already in that number 5 Chevy.
Yeah, up 5 positions, going for a 6th. Looking good at that prime number 5.
Yeah, the way this race is setting, the way the race always kind of sets up is you have some guys that are going to take advantage of that fresh tire, going to probably use it a little too much too early, and then wind up coming back, almost back through the field, versus some of the drivers that are saving their tires for later in the run if they think it's going to be a long run. Andrew Chapman might be one of those drivers, as he has lost 5 positions just kind of cruising out here. Looks like his lap times are almost identical every time he comes through.
The field really getting a little bit spaced out here. A couple drivers battling. 2 wide back in the pack. See the 88 of Gary Nash and that good-looking Kubota. I don't have a Kubota, or I don't work at the dealership, but that's a good-looking paint scheme. See the 84 Jonathan Cogswell down below that white line. That apron on the front stretch there is fair game here at Vegas, and you'll see drivers using it to make it as short as possible.
Yeah, you'll see them go clear from almost the wall, some of these drivers, and just take that line right through that apron, try and make that straightaway as straight as possible. As you see there, coming clear down to that start-finish line, trying to make their way towards the front here. Tristan Bailey able to get by, and he is going to be leading the race. Boughton back there in second with Andrew Miller behind him.
Boughton looking down low. Going to get a little bit of a side draft there on entry. Poke his nose out. Tristan fighting back on the outside, not going to let him go. They're side by side at the start-finish line.
Not going anywhere. Side by side as it heats up front. Back in the pack, they're still side by side as well. Got that little middle group that's single filed out, but for the lead, it is still the 94 Toyota and the 9 Chevy.
And this is exactly what Aaron Miller and Michael York in 3rd and 4th want to see. These guys side by sides will slow them down and allow those 3rd and 4th place drivers to get up there into the fight.
Yeah, especially if Tristan Bailey can get there to that right rear quarter and kind of drag it back just a little bit. which is what he's doing on the straightaways. He's losing a little bit of time in the corners, but he might be able to just hang there and just basically pester Boughton there and wind up taking the lead as they come through the front stretch.
Oh, they were side by side behind them. It looks like now they're back to single file with Michael York passing Aaron Miller. Now in that third place position, watching these leaders battle it out.
Side by side, back and forth. Nobody's really giving anybody any room here on the track. As now Aaron Miller gets to the outside of York and going to make that pass as they come through the corner. See if York's going to be able to hang on here in that number 5 prime ride. Single filed out. Still side by side for the lead.
I was just going to say, I'm really blown away by how long they were able to do that. And just as we say it, Tristan Bailey takes the lead.
Yeah, it looked like Bailey was leaning hard on that 94 Toyota. Might even have touched just a little bit. Boughton decided to back out of it just a bit. Ooh, as he gets loose, touching that apron just a touch. Going to cost him a 10th or 2, but he has kept it in the right direction. Going to stay right behind Bailey. Well, as that has slowed down, let's see if we can go back here and see these battles back here kind of brewing around. Like the 88's having some issues there.
Yeah, you know what, Mike? We might have to get a construction crew in here and have them take the top story off the garage. It seems like they're trying to block our view.
Still hanging on as Nash goes to the high side. Cogswell stays down on the bottom. And behind them, looked like Boutwell got a little loose, going to go clear down to the apron, chase that 47 Ford down there, and get rolling back through 1 and 2 here.
Just a beautiful shot down the backstretch. You can see that desert sun reflecting off of the cars. John Osborne leads this pack. Anthony Ludi right behind him, fighting with Tyler Burden.
Now Burden looks like he is not comfortable in that 06. He's a little loose here and there, just can't quite get the drive right on that Chevy as he slides up into line, single filed out now. I think that's almost the first time we've been single filed out back here, as these guys have been side by side for the majority of the race.
Yeah, it took them just over 16 laps to get spread out here. We'll see who's been saving a little bit for the second half of the run and what they can get done here.
It looks like they're going to be able to go almost 50 laps here on this fuel run, depending on how they're running, as Boughton takes the lead. Aaron Miller going to go clear down to the apron, going to try and get his nose up here in this fight for the lead.
Now Boughton really had to let out of the throttle on turn exit, not let Tristan Bailey get right to his bumper and give him a pretty good shove. Aaron Miller hoping that'll happen again, and he'll be able to capitalize as he gets a little tight and has to let Tristan go.
Yeah, it's almost like if they get to the inside of these cars, that nose just gets a bunch of air dumped on it, and all of a sudden they get tight and kind of slide up the track just a little bit, and they have to kind of either let off or chase it up the hill, and that winds up costing them some time here.
Yeah, I think at this point in the race, you know, no problem, I'll let off. I'll catch you next time. At the end of the race, though, I'm going to use you up. I'm going to lean on you a little bit. Apologies there. My microphone fell off. Got her back in position. No problem.
Chapman leading this little group here. Single filed out again. Just in front of them, though, Robert Roth. able to get that. Maybe he's has that sponsor on the ride there, the Star Nursery. That looks like he does in that 59 Ford. Robert Roth.
Oh yeah, another great scheme. This whole field is looking sharp today.
Yeah, definitely like the way they chrome out those numbers sometimes. Just adds a little extra. Everybody pretty well single filed out now. Looks like Kent Mueller lost the handle on that 8 machine as he's going sideways through the front stretch. Looks like coming off of 4. We'll see if he can get it going here before they come back around and they throw a flag. But right now, jump to the pit, so we are good. We're going to stay green here. But we'll take a look. Do a little rewind here and take a look, see what happened to Mueller. Is like he kind of got loose coming off of 4 here, battling with the 62 machine. Oh, 74 sent him down.
Yeah, Pete Walsh got a little loose and came down into him. Heard him apologizing a little bit over the radio, asking how bad it was, hoping that 8 car could get back on track.
Well, he's going to have at least a couple minutes as he gets towed to the pits, so definitely going to lose some time. We'll see if he's going to be able to get back on track, though. Maybe salvage a couple positions here, but with that going on, this 94 has got out to almost a half-second lead now over Tristan Bailey.
Yeah, really impressive after we saw how hard it was to get a pass done anywhere in the field, especially at the front against that 9 car, and now it's kind of running away with it.
Looks like we got a couple people cheering for some drivers in the YouTube chat. Dylan cheering for Kane Lee in that 38 machine. We got Brian cheering for Hendry. Justin Hendry up 4 spots, running inside the top 10 in that 85 Chevy as well.
Ooh, and he got a bit loose there. No problem, though.
It's getting close to that that area where it's, do you want to come down a little bit early in your fuel run to get those tires? Or do you want to hang out and just have to take it a little bit easier on there, as they're still about 15 laps or so till the end of that green flag run.
Yeah, I don't know. I think at this point in the race, you know, early in the race, whether you're doing stages or not, that first run, I like to use to learn. I want to know, hey, if I drive like this the rest of the day, how much fuel, do I need to put in? How many laps can I go? How do my tires look? So, I don't think you want to come down early now, because you don't get to learn that bit of information for later. But when I come down to pit, hey, maybe it's a 2-tire stop, maybe something. Again, you're trying to learn as much as you can to use later in the race when it really counts. At least that's how I like to do it.
Yeah, the first run, definitely try and gather all the information you can so you can make the correct call at the end of the race. We saw last week how it came down to a 2-tire stop versus a 4-tire stop, and that 5-6 second mark that took wound up costing Furtick the win by only like 1.6 seconds. So if he would have decided to take 2 tires there, was able to hang on, I mean, it could have been a different ball game.
Yes, sir. This is also the part of the run where, I might expect a caution to come out with the tires wearing out and everybody trying to lean on each other a little bit more than they were at the start. That's when things can get a little more dangerous.
And battling back up front, Bailey, Boughton, and Bollinger.
Oh, Tristan in the wall. 53 gives him a nudge. Again, we've seen these guys at the front be really polite. When someone gets loose, gets in the wall, has to collect it. The guy behind them just gives them a little bump, and they stay right in it.
Looks like Miller's a little loose there. Has that back end sliding around as he goes down to the apron.
And there's Robert Roth right there to jump on it. Looking down low. The longer I look at that 10 car, the more I kind of want a hot fudge sundae or something. That Briars is looking real nice.
Especially if you're in Vegas, that hot weather. Of course, yesterday was not hot in Vegas as it rained and delayed that the start to not only the truck race, but also rained out the high limits race with all the NASCAR drivers trying to do a little double duty there.
Yeah, you know, I've only been to Vegas once myself, but it snowed while I was there, so I think it was a bad omen. I don't plan on going back.
Don't look now, but that 53 Toyota is up front. Colin Bollinger able to take his qualifying spot 33 laps later. Going to lead the race as they come through 1 and 2.
But Bailey's not done on the outside either. Oh, real loose.
Wow.
In the wall. That looked like hard enough to get some damage. We see him wiggling down the backstretch, maybe trying to assess. His wheel's still straight. He is dropping.
Yeah, he is headed to the pit lane. I'll say he is headed to pit lane.
Also see the 1 car of Rob Mooney on pit road. There might be a few people starting to say, hey, my car's not handling the way I want, or I wore my tires out, or I've got a little damage. Time to go.
Now, this is about the beginning of the pit window here. I would probably try and stretch it out a little bit more, but if they pit now, might put a little different strategy on the end of the race here.
You know, I think if you take all 150 laps and anticipate them going green, about 34, 35 laps is a 3-stop strategy. Staying out much longer. I don't think you can get all the way to a 2-stop strategy with this fuel mileage.
Yeah, I think it's just might be just a little bit short. But the other thing is, if somebody does come down and do the 3-stop strategy, the 3-stop strategy, they might have a little fresher tires, and that track position could be gone in a hurry.
Yeah, I think the other thing I'd be a little worried about is if I pitted and came out by myself. A lot of these guys are getting pretty big drafts down the front stretch. Clean air is great in the turns, but I would rather be riding behind someone down the front stretch to keep the speeds up.
I definitely want to stay with somebody, anybody, just to at least get a little bit of help there. See those shadows stretching out a little bit further on 1 and 2.
These guys are keeping it interesting side by side again. With Bollinger in the lead, Adam Boughton and Aaron Miller are side by side for second. Robert Roth says, don't forget about me. Now Boughton alone in second. Roth and Miller battling for third. Just been great racing this whole run.
Yeah, Roth, I believe, is going to be one of the drivers that elected to kind of save his tires early in the run. He faded back a little ways, but now he is coming on strong in that 59.4 up to third, and a couple places behind him is going to be Andrew Chapman. Andrew lost, almost 10 positions, was running outside the top 10. Now he's currently running P5, so a little bit different strategies here as they work their way through this first stint here, 40 laps in. We have a few drivers that elected to pit, but majority of them staying out so far.
Yeah, I think Michael York is one of the front runners that's pitted already. My guess is once this cycles through, he's going to be our leader. It's a 10 car. Aaron Miller is down pit road.
Yeah, it looked like Miller
15.
was probably a little bit looser than some of these other drivers, so I'm assuming he used up his tires a little bit faster, so he elected to come down a little bit early, get those 4 fresh tires, and get back out here racing.
Yeah, the driver radios are fired up. Multiple cars calling out that they are coming down pit road next time by. I think the rush is on.
Yeah, definitely Bollinger, Furtick, Hendry, Carnathan, Carter, all in. Been about 46 seconds on pit lane, so right now, the leader were to come in, he's going to fade all the way back right now to somewhere in the 22nd, 23rd area here. But we'll see what happens. Oh, comes in a little on the high side. Chapman's still rolling.
Yeah, and this is going to be a pretty big gap in tire usage. Like I mentioned, I think the 5 car of Michael York should cycle out to be in the lead, and he pitted 11 laps ago. So we're really going to see some difference in tire wear out on the track. Chapman comes down pit road, leaving John Osborne in the lead. Sam Boutwell in the 47 just behind him.
Chapman in, Spear in, Kane Lee in. Looks like Cogswell and Boutwell are going to come in, so that's going to leave Osborne and Christopher Roth out here.
As they hit the 45th lap. My numbers were saying somewhere around 43 was probably as far as I'd want to push it. So this has got me a little nervous here. Again, the risk is always when you pit early is that you could get trapped a lap down and have to take a wave around if a caution were to come out or anything like that. As Osborne hits pit road. Roth stays out for another one. That's 45 down for him.
Roth going to come down this time by. And that's going to turn the lead over to Michael York, who pitted on lap 30.
Yeah, he could be going for a. I'm not sure why you'd want to go for a. That'd be a 4-stop strategy if you pit every 30 laps, but whatever he's doing, he's looking good out front right now. Oh, and I'm showing the 62 of Christopher Roth got a black flag. That might have been on speeding on pit entry.
Yeah, Tristan Bailey still on pit lane trying to get that. Oh, just off of pit lane, spent almost 7 minutes on pit lane trying to get that number 9 Chevy fixed after going hard into that outside wall.
Really a disappointment for him running up front like that early. I think he's going to be, what, 12 laps down? That's pretty rough.
Yeah, that's not exactly what you want to happen, especially when you're battling for the lead for the first 30 laps.
Yeah, I don't think there's going to be enough lucky dogs, at least not the way these guys have been racing so far. Really clean, couple cars in the wall. We had that one spin, but no caution. Michael York is out front. Adam Boughton is about 2 seconds back, followed by Aaron Miller, Colin Bollinger, and Dwayne Furtick, 2 seconds behind Colin.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, unless York just used up his tires and had to come down to get them. I'm not sure exactly why you would try and do that, but hey, maybe he'll make it up in the long run. But right now he's losing time down to under a second and a half. And Miller and Boughton there have 10 and 12 lap pressure tires.
Yeah, they're certainly catching him. And it seems like just a blink of an eye ago, we were saying he had a 2-second lead. I think Adam Boughton is going to catch him before they get back to the start line. There he goes. 94 to the lead. Making it look easy on those fresh tires.
Ooh, Miller got a little loose behind York. Had to chase it down the track. Colin Bollinger up to third. York hanging on right now for P4. Definitely going to have to run a little bit higher, probably save those tires as much as he can to try and get back on the same strategy as the drivers around him. Otherwise, that's going to be a long day, I believe.
Hey, sometimes you just got to try something different and see if it works out. Especially when you're in Las Vegas, you got to gamble. Got to try something.
On board with the race leader now.
Yeah, even the leader, he's playing with the throttle a little bit. You can't just lay it down. You can hear him feathering it to hug that white line. Ease back into it on turn exit. Not choosing to cut the apron, I like that. Whenever I, get to make a habit of cutting the apron, then sometimes I mess up my entry to turn one because you realize you got to get back up to the wall so fast so that you can come back down on your turn entry arc. I think it's nice and peaceful to stay above that white line.
Yeah, definitely.
53 car. Oh, go ahead. I was going to say 53 taking P2.
It definitely looked like he was trying to stay right there on that line, help his lines, and working so far. Colin Bollinger up to second. Breyer's machine back there in third. And it looks like York is falling through the standings relatively quickly now as Furtick got by, Hendry got by, and York is now running outside the top 5, but he's staying in that high line. And I think that's about what he has to do, just kind of ride around and maybe save his tires a little bit and hope he can get back on the same strategy, because I do believe that that extra pit stop is going to be too much time lost here and not enough net gain as far as coming to the checkers here.
Yeah, I'm with you, Mike. I don't see how this is going to work out in the long run, so he's going to need to maybe call an audible to get out of it. The 9 car right behind him.
And Bailey trying to give him a little shove, say, get going, let's go. Looks like Kent Mueller's still in pit lane, so to answer the question, how bad was the damage? It was bad. 19 minutes so far sitting on pit lane.
The 18. Michael Carter going by both of these drivers. Now up to 8th.
Yeah, I don't think York is appreciating Bailey Bailey right now, because Bailey was all over that rear bumper of that machine, just trying to push that 5 along. Kristen's several laps down, just trying to make the best of a bad day.
A couple nice looking Amazon schemes. There's Amazon Prime here on Adam Boughton. I think I saw a Amazon Prime Gaming back there on Michael Carter. Sharp looking ride.
Well, these guys have kind of single filed out a little bit. We'll step aside. We'll take our first commercial break, and we'll be right back after this. You won't miss anything as we go side by side. All right, welcome back, everybody. Didn't miss anything as we were side by side. A little bit of a takeover for the lead as Bollinger was able to get by, and now he has kind of set sail.
Yeah, we also saw the 5 car. You know, we were talking about his alternative pit strategy. He pitted under that brake just 5 laps ago. Now down the lap. You know, not sure what he's going for, but he might prove us all wrong by the end of the night.
I mean, unless you're hoping for that late race caution or something. I guess we'll see what happens, but he is a lap down. Christopher Roth is also a lap down after that speeding penalty. Kristen Bailey a few laps down, still out on track. Looks like he's about 11 laps down.
One car, Rob Mooney, is on pit lane making his second stop of the night.
Andrew Chapman, Dwayne Furtick up here inside the top 5. Haven't seen them up here too much. Looked like both of them kind of elected to go a little easy the first stint, but the second one doesn't look like they're really holding back at all as they're still running inside the 31-second lap range.
Yeah, I think with the race trends like they are, that just staying green, you've got to think you need to get track position now or you're not going to have it later. So I'm not sure you can afford to save at this point, especially if you're in the 10th through 15 range. Those guys really need to make up some track position to be in the running for a win. And if you're sitting there like Adam Boughton or Andrew Chapman and you can see the leader, and that makes me hungrier than a rapid fire pizza.
Rapid Fire Pizza jumping on as a sponsor. Same with 213 Simware. Those guys do a lot for leagues. Need anything, definitely check out the 213 Simware. They have almost anything you could imagine for sim racing. Robert Roth back there in that 59 Ford Star Nursery machine. Ooh, looked like that was the 85. They're getting a little loose. And pit stops are going to begin to start here.
Again, this should be the 3-stop strategy as we're halfway through our 150 laps. This should set you up to take just one more stop. Ooh, 85, Justin Hendry gets into the wall after getting loose on pit entry. We'll have to see how long his pit stop is, if he picked up any significant damage.
Yeah, that was perfect timing on the camera to stay with that 85 machine. Not that he would think so, as he did get hard on the brakes, clip that inside wall. We'll see how long he is set back just a little ways. Chapman Bollinger still out on track. Robert Roth out there as well. These guys go a little over 80 laps here and set up the finish.
I do like that Batman Dr. Pepper scheme as well. Like I said, a lot of sharp cars out there tonight. I can still remember the, like the Batman 1989. There was a commercial that had, I think Alfred was in it. He was serving Bruce a Dr. Pepper. Stuck in my brain for the last 30 years at least. Looking good out there.
Chapman staying up front, started on the pole. Listening to the driver radio. Sometimes you get drivers that are like, maybe I'll pit this time. And then other times it's like, I have to pit.
Hey, you know, it's kind of like heading to the bathroom. When you got to go, you got to go. Whether you're close or not.
Yeah. Josh Williams knew all about that today as he was racing on the track, had to stay out there for the first stage before he got replaced by Ty Dillon after he was under the weather.
Yeah, that was rough. You could hear him on the radio struggling just to catch his breath with his belt nice and tight. So glad he was able to get out and get some fluids.
And Bollinger, Spear, and McCall all down. Chapman still leading the race.
Chapman looking really smooth for being at the end of the run. His tires don't look like they're making him struggle at all.
I know he looks fairly comfortable here in that 25 Chevy. Going to continue to roll on through. Like Robert Roth is staying out as well. Looks like the 06 Tyler Burden hitting down pit lane. These drivers that are staying out a little bit longer on this run might be trying to make that end run to the finish a little bit shorter so they maybe can put a little bit more pressure on those fresh tires they get somewhere around lap 120-ish, 125.
Yeah, I think that's what you always love to see at a track like this. Guys on, fresher tires a little further back, guys on older tires up front. Who can save the most, who can push the hardest. Should be setting up for a great finish here at Las Vegas.
Yeah, it definitely looks like that. Going back through, looking at the stats, they've came here 5 times. And the only driver I see that's in the field that has won before, if I'm not mistaken, is going to be that 94 Toyota of Adam Boughton here.
And I think, if my math is right, I think he is going to cycle back to the lead once everyone hits pit road. Michael York, he should be right behind him in second.
Yeah, we'll see how long York elects to stay out. He's been pitting about every 30 laps. So if that is the case, he will be coming in 7 laps? 8 laps, something like that. So definitely an offset strategy here, but maybe it'll work towards the end of the race as Chapman comes in, makes that left-hand turn, gets down to speed. And it looks like the 9's following him there as well.
John Osborne in the 81 will assume the lead. Jonathan Cogswell about a half second behind him. Just 4 cars yet to pit here at the front of the field.
Osborne still staying out right now. Last pit on lap 45, so might be trying to make it clear to 90 there.
Yeah, at this point, whether your strategy looks like the winning one or not, I think you've made your bed and you got to sleep in it. The guys that are running long, you got to hope that's going to be the play, whether a caution comes out or the fresh tires on that last stop. Make it worth it. We haven't seen any 2-tire stops yet today, but if you're one of these guys running long, you might only need half a tank of fuel, and you could try 2 tires. Save some time on pit road on that last stop.
Yeah, that's going to be the stop. There's a reason why they call it the money stop. Everybody's going to have to decide what they're going to do. I mean, if you can make it where you're only, say, 25 laps or so to the finish, 2 tires might be worth it, and you might get the track position that you need anyway, because these drivers that have that clean air seem to, I don't know, have an easier time out here up front.
Yeah, like I said, I think, well, if you're looking at Osborne's strategy, he's pitting here on lap 89. He just went 40-some laps, 43 laps before that pit. That means he can make it, you know, to what, lap 143 and have just a 17-lap final run if he wants to. That probably only needs half a tank of fuel. Meanwhile, Boughton and Bollinger on the more traditional strategy, just cutting it, splitting it right down the middle 3 ways. Hoping just keeping the freshest tires on the car at all times is the way to do it.
Yeah, the drivers that are going long is definitely going to have to decide what they're going to do as far as pit strategy goes to get that track position back, because right now you are giving up quite a bit of time. As Osborne came in on lap 89, he's out in 15th position right now, 22 and a half seconds back from the leader. Bollinger, Furtick, Aaron Miller dealing with a little lap traffic there in that 10 machine. Able to try and get by here.
As you mentioned earlier, the shadows in 1 and 2 almost all the way across the track now. Not sure that affects the track too much, but it might affect your visibility looking out of the windshield. Can be a little distracting sometimes, but I don't think too bad for our ECR drivers.
Especially with all those nice little billboards there.
Boughton making it look easy now. Going for us Saturday night drive.
About 7/10 off the fastest lap of the race, so these guys definitely, it looks like they're, whoa, 94 sideways. Boughton never able to catch it, but he was almost catastrophe happened there, leading the race by over a second. Now it is under, as that 53 Toyota of Colin Bollinger is able to slide on into a little closer, under second now.
Yeah, sometimes when you live by the white line, you die by the white line. You want to get as close as possible to hook the left front right on the paint sometimes, and you get just a little loose. Your car tags the apron, then you get really loose.
Yeah, he had it. He had it gathered in, and then all of a sudden coming off the corner, it looked like he tried to get back to the throttle a little bit too soon and almost sent him sideways, but he's able to let his foot off, roll back through the throttle, and get that 94 going the right direction, coming down the backstretch.
Yeah, he gave up a good gap here as we see the 53 closing in on that bumper of the 94.
You can see the little bit different lines that they're driving here as Bollinger's up about 2 or 3 cars and almost into that outside wall. As he's able to get by, almost cleared, but not quite.
There he goes.
As they come down the front stretch.
Bollinger on slightly fresher tires by about 4 laps. But most of our top 5 on the same strategy. And then once you get to 6th on back are the guys who stayed out a little bit longer. Might be trying to shorten up their last stop. Michael York still out there. He's on 35 laps into his stint. If he follows the strategy we think he is, he should be pitting.
He should already came down pit.
Yeah, he should have come down about 10 laps ago. So at this point, he's probably going to be trying to make it on one stop as well. And if everybody else in the field also has to make one stop, you know, I'm not sure that's going to put him in too bad of a position running 9th right now. Interesting recovery from that alternative strategy.
Yeah, it definitely looked like he had to decide what he was going to do. If we were to get, you know, a caution or whatever, he might be sitting in the catbird seat the way he had it split up. But as this race went on, he had to make the decision when he was going to try and drive a little bit longer, and that is going to be this stint. I mean, if he can make it nine more laps, I mean, that's still 40 to the finish.
That's going to be close. I think the longest we've seen anyone run was 45. That would be 46. But yeah, I think it's doable. It's going to be close.
Well, it is Vegas. Sometimes you have to gamble, right?
Oh yeah.
Back through the field here. Chapman going to try and bat. Oh, that wasn't Chapman. All these rapid-fire pizza schemes. Like that's probably Ryan McCall in the 90. Racing there with Aaron Miller. Action back in the pack here. 81 Chevy of John Osborne up to 12th. Going to be 11th as he gets by Hendry down on the inside. Hendry had that massive hit coming to pit entry. Looks like it didn't cause him too much damage as he still only spent under 15 seconds in his pit box. So he got back out and is running inside the top 12 right now.
Yeah, he's got the freshest tires of anyone on the lead lap, and I think they are really paying off. As he is if he's not the fastest car on the track the last few laps, he's been 2nd or 3rd. Looking really good right now.
Yeah, I think the drivers that did drive long are the fastest ones on the track. Andrew Chapman with a 30.59 and Osborne there with a 30.57. So definitely the quickest drivers out on track. Looks like Cogswell even got up there with a 30.58. So all 3 of those drivers are on a little bit different strategy, running that long run. We'll see if they're going to, come down at, 125-ish or so and have that short little run to the finish.
Love that we've got so many different strategies coming together at the end of the race. Again, really impressed with this group of drivers. Keeping it green flag all night long. Don't think anybody made any enemies. At least none that they didn't already have. The 85 tags the wall there.
Hendry getting a little bit loose, but man.
Yeah, a lot of these guys are now 29, 30 laps into the run. This is where we've seen people start to get loose, get into the wall every run tonight. Especially when you've got another car down on your inside. Oh, as York makes it to pit road. With a hair on his chinny chin chin.
I'll say drifting in. Made it to 108, so not too bad. Should be able to make it to the end from here.
Botton's been able to hang with the 53, but it doesn't look like he's challenging him for the lead or anything.
No, I think he kind of gathered his car in, probably heated up the tires a little bit doing all of that sliding around he did. So probably trying just to protect him enough to get it to his pit number here. And then after that, he's just going to put down the throttle and see what he can do.
I'm looking back through the field, trying to see who are the comers and goers. Looks like our biggest movers. Tyler Burden in the 06, currently running 7th. He's up 12 positions from where he started, as well as the 84 of Jonathan Cogswell. Also up 12 positions.
Yeah, it looks like the 9 of Tristan Bailey elected to call it a day as he was not going to get any more positions out on track. But hung around for 90 laps after making contact early. Aaron Miller, the 10 Toyota, down pit lane.
All right, and it's the money stops, like you said. If we stay green, this is the last stop of the day. Make it count. I don't think you've got a 2-tire option pitting this early.
I mean, you're going to be in there. You're going to be in there for fuel anyway. Might as well take those 4 tires and see what you can do.
Exactly. 38 is also on pit road. Kane Lee. Dwayne Furtick running P3. That kind of a McLaren F1 looking scheme. Papaya and black. These F1 guys getting their first race of the season in, what I think here in just a few hours in Australia.
Yeah, it should be, yep. It's like everybody's going to have a race in now, no matter what you fancy.
Bollinger continuing to build that lead over Adam Boughton. Just a few hundredths of a second each lap, but very steady. Yeah, if you're sitting out front like Colin, man, it feels pretty good to be in the lead. Makes it hard to decide to come down pit road earlier than you need to.
Yeah, it's all going to be a matter of where they cycle out.
It's like the 18 of Michael Carter just hit pit road. I think Furtick is coming this time. John Osborne now cycled up to 6th. Again, he's one of those drivers that stayed out a little bit longer. Andrew Chapman, another driver who stayed out a little bit longer. Not quite as long as Osborne, but you got to imagine he's on that long pit strategy as well. Adam Lawton
Looking back through, as here comes the leader. See where Michael York was. York right now is running P19. He has, looks like 4 or 5 drivers ahead of him that had already pitted as well. So not exactly where he wanted to be, but we'll see if he can gain a few spots here on this last stint.
Yeah, it looks like he started 10th today. You know, if he comes out with a top 10, I think that's a victory after kind of getting caught off strategy.
Chapman has his teammate right behind him. I imagine we're going to see them somewhere in the next 7 or 8 laps coming down as they both stayed out the 86-ish laps.
Yeah, I think in order to make the 2-tire fuel amounts line up, you want there to be about 22 to go. So they're going to need to go, I think, 10 laps more for that to line up just right. Otherwise, you might need an extra second of fuel. And I think at this point, every second matters. Osborne all the way up to second now.
Osborne, Roth all stayed out a little bit. Roth coming down pit lane. Last pit on lap 84 has got that 59 Ford slowed up here.
Yeah, with these different strategies, right now there are only 4 or 5 cars on the lead lap. Everybody else stuck a lap down. And we haven't seen any cautions yet, and I don't think we will, but always makes me nervous when you're sitting a lap down. Just fingers crossed that nothing happens.
Yeah, that especially if you hadn't made your pit stop yet. Luckily, it looks like everybody except for a couple have, so looks like Ryan McCall sitting in the lucky dog spot at the moment, so I'd be wishing for one if he was his teammate wasn't leading anyway.
Yeah. Cars hitting about 190 miles per hour down the front stretch. Nice and fast here in Vegas. Osborne now 7.5 seconds behind Chapman.
And here comes the previous race leaders who did go down pit lane. They are right behind Andrew Chapman now. Osborne going to come down pit lane. Chapman still hanging out.
Fresh tires, making it look easy. We know they're worth it tonight.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it is.
Oh, no, there it is.
Caution is out.
Looks like Ryan McCall involved.
Well, that is bad for Ryan, as he was sitting in that lucky dog spot, but bringing out the caution, going to stack back up the field. But it is going to help Chapman, because Chapman's going to be able to come down and get those fresh tires. And looks like only a couple of drivers are going to stay out probably.
I think if you're John Osborne, this just fell in your lap because he was pitting, but he hasn't run any green flag laps on his new tires. He can stay out. Meanwhile, I think Bollinger and Boughton, they've run 7 and 8 laps already. They're going to want fresh tires because we've seen how fast they are. And so here's the thing. If Osborne stays out, that entire list of 6th on back don't get their laps back. They can't take a wave around. It looks like he's going to come down. I don't know if he knew that was the case. He would have guaranteed himself, a top 6.
I'm not sure what happened there. If we can take a look, see what happened, but I don't know that he go back to where he first started.
Yeah, it looked like he was already slow and down on the apron.
Oh, Miller giving him a little shove.
He just got loose, and Miller didn't have much time to react.
Oh, and he went down pit lane. Looks like he didn't stop, though, because a caution came out. Yeah, he did not stop, so he had to stop anyway. So that is not something he wanted, as he has now scored second car a lap down.
Yeah, I have a feeling the timing and scoring is a little confused with all these wave arounds and whatnot. I've got some drivers that seem like they're certainly in the wrong position.
Yeah, they'll get it fixed up here in a moment, I do believe.
Yeah, I'm not. Again, if this is right, I'm not sure what happened to Osborne, and now I'm showing him a lap down. Didn't see any black flags or anything. Like I said, I thought he was in the perfect position.
Unless because he came down pit lane before Chapman did, if he had to make that extra lap. So he's gonna, so he lost a lap there, maybe, I don't know. Weird, but we are stacked back up, ready to go here. Like lights are still on though, so.
And after all that, and all that talk about fuel strategy and tires, it's all gone. 24 laps to go. It's everything you got from here.
Pace car is in. Chapman gonna hit that start finish line. He is down and away. Bollinger gets a good little tap there, maybe from Batwell on the outside. Batwell's hanging on, but it is not somewhere he is used to being at the moment here as Chapman drives away.
Yeah, you can see that long line of cars on the inside lane. Those were all the wave around guys getting their lap back.
Yeah, most of the field had to take that. The only drivers that didn't were the drivers that were able to get by Chapman before that caution came out, and that includes the driver of the 53 Toyota and the driver of the 94 Toyota, Colin Bollinger and Adam Boughton. They were able to just get by just in time, so they get to start side by side, and Bollinger is not letting Chapman get away. He is all over that rear bumper, telling him that it is his lead and to get out of the way here.
Yeah, you can't afford anybody to get out of reach from this point on. You need to be in striking distance.
Wow, 4 wide back here towards the back. Burden. Oh, no. Wow. Hogswell, Pete Walsh going sideways through the infield. And more calamity happens here. Late race restarts are like dynamite. You never know when they're going to explode.
Yeah, and I think, as Larry Mack puts it, cautions breed cautions. You get everybody stacked up, knowing this is the time you have to go to the front. And there's no patience.
Yeah, patience went out the window. Yeah, Pete Walsh. York caught in it. The 15 of Bradley Rivers caught in it. happened with Pete Walsh here. A little bump there from Furtick to Pete Walsh. Cogswell a little bit to the inside. Oh,
might have been a little bit of a tap from the 24 trying to bump draft there, and it got the 74 out of sorts. I'm not sure I could put that on any one driver. That's just desperation in the middle of the pack at the end of a race. Everybody can't afford to lift.
yeah. You know, late race, just what happens. Well, Osborne gets his lap back.
A lot of drivers pitting again. Bollinger and Boutwell staying out.
Hendry staying out as well.
It's like, I think Boughton and Burden will be the... Or no, Boughton and Miller will be the furthest up on the fresh tires. Maybe Chapman. Again, I think my scoring is taking a second to update. So many guys pitting, coming across the line, some of them on pit road, some of them on the track. iRacing gets a little confused sometimes.
Well, we'll see if they're going to make all the drivers who are a lap down go to the back of the field or not. Okay, that looks a little bit better here.
Yeah.
As race control's getting these drivers under control here.
Yeah, so we've got Boughton and Burden and Miller and Furtick will be the first cars on completely fresh tires. Bollinger and Boutwell have 7 laps on their tires, but most of those were under caution right there. Hendry in the 85 and P3, he's got 13 laps, so he stayed out the last 2 caution opportunities. A good mix of tire wear here. Boutwell up 23 positions from where he started on the outside of row 1 and 47 car. See what he's got for these leaders.
This car's going to make that left-hand turn. Bollinger, Boutwell set to go as they get ready to hit that Geico restart zone. Leaving the rapid-fire pizza caution flag behind. We are green here. Colin Bollinger with a huge run. Justin Hendry staying right with him.
3 wide. Oh no, the 94 off of the nose of the 25 in the wall. Oh, and oh no, they're collecting a few more.
I think
90.
I think a spotter. I think I have some glasses for a spotter. I just got to go find them. Hang on.
Oof, we're seeing both of those sharp-looking Amazon cars involved of Adam Boughton, and Michael Carter.
Here's the restart. Going good, going good.
Yeah, I think the spotter on the 94 didn't think the 25 would be there. By the time he'd already committed to his entry, 25 was inside.
Yeah, 38 gets caught. Cogswell gets caught there a little bit. Boughton goes back up the track here. It's the 18. The Christopher Roth there, 10. The Miller's there. Christopher Roth avoids it just a little bit there. Yeah. See if we can take a look here from the roof cam of the 25. Rapid Fire Pizza. Yeah, nothing you really could do. This was not clear there.
Yeah, certainly a bummer to have that beautiful Rapid Fire Pizza car involved in this Rapid Fire Pizza yellow flag. We've got a couple drivers. Looks like the 94 has a black flag. That's going to probably ramp up his night on top of the damage. Michael Carter and Bradley Rivers have meatball flags. They're already a couple laps down now. You know, for a while there, we were looking like, 24 out of the 26 cars were all running, all on the lead lap. Now we've got just 14 cars on the lead lap.
Yeah, it looks like Revolution Motorsports had their field pretty much decimated there. 94 was involved, the 96 was involved, and I believe the 10 was also involved. All members there of that Revolution Motorsports, so definitely not what he wanted to have happen there. It's amazing how fast that bottom line can close in when you're coming through one there. Just wasn't quite enough room to get down in front of him.
Just ramping up the tension for the end of this race. 14 to go. A couple familiar names at the front. Bollinger, Chapman, Furtick, all in the top 10. A couple guys. Tyler Burden up 16 positions from where he started. Hendry up 10. Boutwell up 21. A lot of fresh blood up here for this restart.
Yeah, Michael York running P13 now after those cautions there.
John Osborne able to get his laps back and kind of sort out whatever happened with that awkward timing when the caution came out and got him stuck.
Pace car is in, and we are ready to roll once again. Colin Bollinger leading them through the restart zone. Tyler Burton staying right on that rear bumper. And that inside line, once again, gets a massive jump here on the restart.
Yeah, it looked like Hendry maybe spun the tires a little bit, and Boutwell got into the back of them. They almost caused an accident, but they were all able to check up just in time and keep it rolling.
Yeah, side by side they go. Bollinger, Burton, Chapman trying to work his way back up inside the top three. He goes to the inside of Hendry.
Ooh.
Sideways goes Stan Carnathan, taking the scenic route through pit lane.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a speeding penalty.
That's definitely going to be an unsafe pit entry probably as well.
Yeah, it looked like it was Boutwell and one of those rapid fire pizza cars were leaning on each other coming out of the turn. Boutwell got into the wall with nowhere to go. Squeezed the 24 down into the grass.
Yeah, Stan Carnathan went down into the grass. Fastest lap of the race for Justin Hendry, a 29.72 for that 85 Chevy.
And that is really burning it down. I don't think we had broken 30 seconds until this restart.
Yeah, nope. The top three just ran each of their fastest laps of the race the last time by.
Everybody getting comfortable with the car, feeling bold. Especially when you can see the leader in the lead, you just got to take it.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do about it. Just have to go. You kind of made your bed. You know what you have. Got to use it there. Andrew Chapman getting a little pressure there from the 51 Chevy of Dwayne Furtick. Furtick getting
Osborne.
by.
I was going to say Osborne's now up to 7th after restarting 11th.
Yeah, Osborne's wasting little time on those fresh tires as he's making his way through.
Oh,
Tyler
Burden
Burden.
goes around and slides up into the field. Collect. Whew. Sure, he was running P2.
Let's see if we can see what happened to Tyler. Oh.
He is not happy on the radio.
Get a better view. Oh,
The 85 car
the
making contact.
85 turned the 06. We'll take a look here. Ooh, from the cockpit.
Oof. Yeah, it looks like Hendry got a great run off of turn 2 and getting really aggressive with the side draft, and both of them looking to use an extra inch that wasn't there. Again, another driver from our top 3 taken out of the race. Bad fortune. Bad luck here in Vegas.
Matthew Crago Jr. involved. Go back here. On the roof cam here, we'll see smoke up in front. Downshifts. I just didn't see where he was.
It looked like he was planning to go low, and at the last second decided not to go high, and it was too late.
Well, that is going to end the night probably for Tyler Burden there.
Again, I'm just looking back through the junkyard here on pit road. Tristan Bailey is taken out of the top 3 with some wall contact. Boughton taken out while he was running well at the front. Burden out. A lot of the guys we were watching driving that clean air out front just didn't have the ending that they needed. We've got just 6 laps to go here under caution. I think other than whoever wins this thing, everybody else might be happy to get out of here and get some sleep after this one.
Yeah, they're definitely going to be glad to probably put this one in the rearview mirror. But they're heading to Texas next, so...
Yeah, it's not going to get any easier.
Bollinger with the restart once again. Down on that bottom side has Dwayne Furtick behind him. Green flag is out. Little more even restart there, but Bollinger gets out to the lead.
He has been good on restarts all night. The 85, not quite as bad as the last one, but he's going to have to fight that outside line as John Osborne down low, marching to the front. He's got the 25 of Andrew Chapman underneath of him. They're 3 wide, back to 2 wide as Chapman puts a slide job on and Osborne goes low.
Yeah, Chapman went from clear from the outside down on the apron to make that pass. Osborne hanging tough there on the bottom side with him. Chapman has the freshest tires as he last pitted on lap 143, so he's looking to put them to use and get back up here and finish the race where he started. Hendry right behind him, though, give him a little shove in the corner.
And you can see right there with those 2 cars the difference those fresh tires make, as Hendry tried to hold the same line behind him. He pushed up the track, lost a little speed, let Osborne get beside him. Chapman just pulls away, trying to chase down Dwayne Furtick in P2 and Colin Bollinger out front.
Yeah, Furtick been kind of laying in the weeds for the last little bit, but all of a sudden these cautions have brought him to the front, running P2, fastest lap of the race too, with a 29.69 in that 51 Chevy.
2 laps to go. Furtick really driving it in there. We'll see if he can make it stick.
Yeah, Furtick trying everything he can to get going here to catch that 53 Toyota that has been relatively dominant here. And Colin Bollinger headed out of turn number 4. Will we see the white flag?
Furtick gained just a little bit that lap, but not enough. He's going to need more on this final lap.
Drove in deep, kept that 51 right on the white line. Going to come out hot on the high side. Side by side behind them, Chapman, Hendry. But the battle's going to have to be for the lead here. Will Furtick have enough? It doesn't look like it. Looks like Colin Bollinger's going to come through, and he is going to win Star Nursery 225 at Las Vegas. Furtick in second. Close battle for third with Andrew Chapman and Justin Hendry.
Just a phenomenal finish to this race. Green flag for well over 100 laps. And then just a pack of cautions to wrap it up. But the one car that seemed to be in the top 5 most of the night, out front, restart after restart, is that 53 Colin Bollinger. As he takes it into the grass for some donuts.
We're going to burn the place down here. Finally, we do have a repeat winner. Colin Bollinger did win a couple weeks ago at Legacy Atlanta, so win number 2. Let's see if we can get some drivers up here in the booth. Start with third place. Let you talk to Andrew.
Andrew, you got Shane and Mike in the booth. You got a copy.
Hey, how's it going?
Having a great night watching you guys battle it out on a hot, slick track here at Vegas. We saw you on the final restart with the freshest tires of the group there, able to get it done to P3. Tell us what went on your night out there in Vegas.
I felt really fast all night, just up until that last 10, 15 laps with those yellows. I was tight every time I tried to put tires on it. And I was trying to use that strategy, put fresh ones on it and see if I can outrun them. But honestly, it probably needed 2 or 3 more laps on the tires before I could get the good out of them there. So I'll take a P3.
Yes, sir. Congratulations on the podium finish. Anyone you want to give some shout outs and thanks to?
Just my teammates and everyone that runs the league, and thanks everyone for having me.
Congratulations again on the podium finish. We look forward to seeing what you can do next week.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Dwayne, Mike up in the booth, man. How's it going?
Pretty good, guys.
Well, that was a heck of a run there towards the end. Looked like the cautions kind of fell right, and you were able to work your way back towards the front here and come home with a P2 finish. How was the racing out there tonight?
It was pretty good. I think it was much better than last year. Last year's race, we were pretty much grouped up in the pack, but track got slick and sort of spread everybody out.
Yeah, it definitely looked like it. Looked like pit strategy was going to kind of come to fruition there up until a few of those late race cautions. But you walk away here with a P2. What do you have to do to turn this into more positive as you head down to Texas next week?
Just keep my head up. I think getting solid finishes. I feel pretty bad about the 2X that I got, but it is what it is. But huge thanks to my teammates, Southern Alliance Racing. Guys are incredible. I think we all had decent finishes tonight. Great group effort, and looking forward to next week.
Definitely, man. Well, congrats on your P2 finish, and we'll see what you can do at Texas.
All right, guys. Take care.
All right. Get you the race winner.
Alan, you got Shane and Mike in the booth. You got a copy.
Oh, yes, sir.
Congratulations. Started 7th, led 62 laps. Was able to avoid the chaos there in the last half of the race. Tell us how you got it done.
I mean, dude, first off, honestly, 125 laps with like just green flag run, that's honestly awesome, and it's been like that all year so far, so hopefully we can keep it up. But no, I mean, I knew that honestly just the tire, like hopefully with the long run that the tires would come into play, and I kind of just sat there and let those top 5 or 6 guys run around and race, and after about 15 or 20 laps, like the tires started to come in for me, and then theirs started wearing out, and we started making those passes, and then we just got into like the cat and mouse game of these pit stops. You know, they maybe try to short pit me one time, and I think on the last stop there, I think I was maybe the second one to pit after maybe somebody in 3rd or 4th did, and I think it was down to me and the 94 at the end until we started getting those cautions. But then, yeah, honestly, just making it through those first maybe 2 rows on the first restart and getting up to first and just holding the lead from there was honestly the key. But yeah, no, I just had a great time all night. It was an awesome race.
Yeah, congratulations. It was really exciting to watch you get you seem to be getting really good starts every restart to keep that lead. This makes you the first repeat winner of the season. I'm pretty sure it's going to put you in the lead in the championship standings. Congratulations again. Anybody you want to send some shout outs to or thank yous?
Oh yeah, just Team Delusional Racing, and you know, Daniel Plant Smith, he makes the car that I race every week and the other cars that I race in other series, and yeah, just those 2 guys, and you know, I'm just happy to be thanks to the ECR, you guys for broadcasting, and you know, ECR to let me run here, and finally taking my penalty away so I can qualify. But you know, other than that, that's it.
Awesome. Well, we had fun watching you race. I thought that was a pretty good 9 out of 10 burnout. Got some in the grass, some at the start finish line on the asphalt. Congrats again, and we'll see what you can do next week.
Thank you, guys.
Was the top 3. But it was a heck of a race tonight. Let's bring up the race results here. Colin Bollinger, Dwayne Furtick, Andrew Chapman in the top 3, Justin Hendry with a top 4, John Osborne. Pit strategy came into play as he winds up with a top 5, Jonathan Cogswell there as well. Kane Lee, Anthony Ludi, Sam Batwell, and Ryan McCall round out that top 10. Michael York, Aaron Miller, Aaron Spear, Gary Nash, and Stan Carnathan with top 15 finishes. Pete Walsh, Robert Roth, Tyler Burden, late race incident brings home P18. Michael Crago Jr. involved in that same incident. Christopher Roth rounds out that top 20. Rob Mooney, Adam Boughton, Michael Carter, Bradley Rivers, Tristan Bailey, and Kent Mueller round out the field here from Las Vegas. So we will put this one in the bag, and we will head off down to Texas to see what these drivers can do down there. Anything you want to say, Shane, before we get out of here tonight?
Just what a race. We saw so many drivers running up front have heartbreak, drop to the back. Bollinger able to avoid all that trouble there at the end and bring it home. A great race. Yeah, I'm just... Vegas always delivers and ECR always delivers, so this was a great match.
Yeah, it definitely was. They put on a show and did not disappoint here in Las Vegas. But from all the drivers of the ECR Next Gen League and all of us here at Sim Racing Media, I want to wish you guys a good night, and we will see you next week in Texas.